Jai Hind friends, Jai Hind. Jai Hind friends. So we have discussed Renaissance, we have discussed geographical discoveries, and so preface, biggest event of 16th century was the schism in the Christian church, which was destined to take place, destined. So preface, we have discussed, the first heading we have already discussed, the Christian church or the Christian Sangha emerged as a preacher of the philosophy of Jesus Christ and Saint Peter, but then with the changes in economy and polity, it became the ruler in Europe. It has the management structure from top to bottom, and it controlled all the life of Europeans. The sacramental system was a very unique part of Christendom. Pope was the supreme arbiter, and all these things from 15th century started acting as a hurdle in the new development. And whenever the new development will face any obstacle, and if the new development will be profitable to multiple sections, listen again, Ajit Kumar Jha, whenever the new development will give profit to multiple sections, the obstacle to that new development will be overthrown by those sections. Whenever the new developments will be beneficial to multiple sections. Second heading, reasons. Reasons for reformation in Europe. Whenever the new development, write it as a note. Whenever the new development will be beneficial to multiple sections in the society, for example, it is beneficial to the ruling class, it is beneficial to the business class, it is beneficial to the middle class, it is beneficial to the common people, then all these sections will stand up against the obstacle. all these sections will stand up against the obstacle, and that will lead to reformation. It's a formula. 15th century is the century of new developments, renaissance, geographical discoveries. Flowing of wealth, national monarchies, nation state. Whenever the new development will be beneficial to multiple sections in the society, like ruling class, business class, middle class, common people, this multiple section will stand up against the obstacle of this new development, and that will be called as reformation. Example, Brahmanism, Vedic religion became the obstacle for second urbanization. And when Vedic religion became the obstacle for second urbanization, so you will see the beginning of reformation. To promote the new developments under religious movement, and the superstar of this movement, Buddha. And this Buddhism was supported by the ruling class, the business class, the middle class, and the common people, because the principles of Buddhism were suitable to the new development. Is this clear? Deepak Nayak, Anshul Goyal, you want me to explain this topic? You don't know anything about Martin Luther, Lutheranism? See, I tell you one thing. This topic is a very easy topic, very easy. I will discuss, no doubt. But if you have understood the religious movement of medieval India, if you would have understood the religious movement of 6th century BC, then you can very easily understand this topic. Rudresh, Mricha, Anjali, Sanika, No. This clear, that I know. How many of you do not know anything about Reformation? Or you don't know anything about Martin Luther? Anshul, what is the story of Martin Luther? Martin Luther got so much support in Germany? You don't know anything about this topic? Saksham, Vigyan, Ashutosh. Hey Bhagwan, why you people are not working on yourself? Why? Why you people are not working on yourself? Huh? Why he translated the German Bible in German language? Shubham Vasnik, from where this word comes, Protestant? What is the origin of this word Protestant? No, I have to record all these videos because, see, I have no attention to leave because finally I have to record all these things. But why don't you people develop yourself? Anshul, from where this word comes? Protestant. Why Germany became the center of Protestant movement? No. Saksham Gosal, no. Richa, where are you? Richa, why Germany became the center of Protestant movement? from where the term Protestant comes. है वतन वतन हमको तेरी कसम, राह में तेरी जा तक लुटा जाएंगे। बताओ यार कितना बुरा हाल है इन लोगों का। Why Guru Arjun Dev was killed by Jahangir? Why Guru Arjun Dev was killed by Jahangir? How Rudresh, how he challenged the state authority? First reason, church in Europe during 16th century was a state within a state. Church in Europe during 16th century अरे अब leave it Richa, leave it, जाने दो, leave it. Write all the points, right. See, I have to do the recording of all the videos, so for me it is important to do it. Church in Europe during 16th century was a state within a state. Church officials they were present, I told you in the yesterday's class, they were present from top to the bottom. Church officials had unflinching authority, unflinching loyalty. Church officials had unflinching loyalty towards Pope. They not only had unflinching loyalty towards Pope, they took all the guidance from the Pope. So along with the state officials, the church officials were present, top to the bottom. They had unflinching loyalty to the Pope, and they took all the guidance from the Pope. Boniface VIII. When Philip II in France tried to impose the tax on the church property, what happens? Boniface VIII declares the bull of excommunication against Philip II. But yeah, I have to take the tax. I have to impose the tax. I have to strengthen myself. Second, church officials in many states had immunity from the state laws. Church officials in many states had immunity from the state laws. Third, the property and land owned by church and its officials were exempted from taxes. Property and land owned by church and its officials were exempted from taxes. Fourth, they established celestial courts to punish anyone who went against the church authority. Celestial courts to punish anyone who went against the church authority. Finally, Pope was the supreme arbiter in every aspect of European life. Pope was the supreme arbiter in every aspect of European life. And Rome was the real ruler. Church in Europe during 16th century was a state within state. See, unflinching loyalty. See, loyalty and guidance from the Pope. Immunity from the law. Just imagine if a group of What to repeat in that, Rudresh? Guidance means whatever you have to do, you have to take the guidance. You are taking guidance from me. That means what? In this matter of preparation, you are taking guidance from me. So if any serious decision will be taken regarding economy, polity, society, who will be the guiding force? Pope. Exempted from taxation, as celestial courts which can punish the noble, the soldier, the ruler, the officer, leave the common people, the monks. Pope, the supreme arbiter, and Rome was the real ruler. And all this became, all this became obstacle for the new developments. In the field of economy, in the field of polity, in the field of society, in the field of all this became obstacle, all this. Richa? अरे कोई बात नहीं अर्जुन. What happened? Richa? Wittenberg, the place where the entire episode took place, Wittenberg. Martin Luther was a professor of theology in Wittenberg University. Martin Luther, he was a professor of theology in Wittenberg University. Okay, Arjun, I'll pick up your phone, don't worry. I'll call you back. I'll call you. Richa, Martin Luther was a professor of theology in Wittenberg University. And John Tetzel, heard the name? Richa, John Tetzel. Anshul, John Tetzel. No. Without knowing the name of John Tetzel, you will never know the story of Martin Luther. Yes. He is related to sale of intelligence only. Yes. Tetzel, John Tetzel. Actually, Pope, who was the Pope at this time? When Luther was the professor of theology in Wittenberg University? Who was the Pope at this time? When Luther was the professor in Wittenberg University. Luther. Leo X. So he comes to German state to sell the letter of indulgence to collect money for the reconstruction of the church, St. Peter's Church in Basilica, Rome. And John Tetzel was the agent of Louis X in Wittenberg. Now this was the time when money was required. This was the time when money was required by German rulers to strengthen their position. National monarchies were emerging. Absolute monarchies were emerging. Nation states were emerging. So this was the time when rulers required money. And if all the money will be drained out by the church, from where the rulers will get the money? This was the first reason. Church in Europe during 16th century was acting as was state within state. Second reason, decline of Catholic Church. Catholic Church as anti-church movement was already going on from 12th century. Anti-church, decline of Catholic Church as anti-church movement was already going on from 12th century. Who are these? Anti-church movement was going on from 12th century. The first to raise the voice against the abuses followed by church, Catholic Church, the movement, a very dangerous movement in France. एक मिनट यार, फोन है, just a minute. Albigans and Waldenses. The revolt of Albigans and Waldenses in France, 12th century. Against the abuses of the church. Albigans and Waldenses revolt. The revolt of Albigans and Waldenses, also called as Cathars. Read about them. Don't leave this point as it is. Please go in detail. See who were these people, why they, which were the abuses. All were the abuses. So this was the first important incident in 12th century, France. But then beginners are always the victims, and they were brutally suppressed by the Pope. They were brutally suppressed, brutally. They were brutally suppressed by the Pope. Brutally suppressed by the Pope. Then there was a movement in England, Lollard movement. This was a movement in England, Lollard movement, Lollard movement by under the leadership of John Wycliffe. He was a priest and a professor, John Wycliffe. Lollard movement, John Wycliffe, England. He stood up against the worldliness of the church. Worldly. You are enjoying everything, and then you are talking, you are still living on senses. You know the problem of the priest? The problem of the priest is he still lives on senses, but he talks about salvation. So he was against the worldliness. He was against the worldliness of the church and superstitions. Worldliness of the church and superstitions. And then he says, property-less church. And back to the Bible for the guidance of salvation. Property-less church. Property. You see the mathas, Hindu mathas, and go and see the life of Mathadhis. Buddha is a bhikshu, not beggar. He says this thing, property-less church. When you are giving something to the society, in past 1 month, at least 10 to 15 people have given me the message. NCRT Ancient India is being uploaded on YouTube free. NCRT Ancient India R.S. Sharma is being uploaded for free. Sir, 15 to 20 people have given me the message कि sir, please take some money from us. But at least 20 messages I have seen. Sir, please take some money from us. Actually, Gyan is a commodity, knowledge is a commodity which is not seen, but it is very valuable. And those who start enjoying the benefit of it, now I can imagine. You see, when the Hindu priest come to your family, he has to say to you, when Hindu priests come for different rituals, Satyanarayan Katha, he has to say, keep the money here, keep the money here, keep the money here. 10 rupees here, 20 rupees here, 100 rupees here. You don't want to give. All the Hindu people sitting in the class. You see, when any ceremony is taking place in your family, marriage especially, people keep the change with them. 10 rupee change, 20 rupee change. Because the priest after every 15 minutes will say, Ki Jajman, some dakshina. And every time everyone cannot give 500 rupee. But Acharya Rajneesh, he never asked anything. But all those people who benefited, Western people, when he gave the discourse on sex to super consciousness, sex was already open there. They started experimenting it. When they started experimenting, they started getting the result. Ryskova Valya, a Russian professor, Ryskova Valya, she said to me, Ki Rajneesh was my husband. Alright, I said, madam, please. She said, yes, I have accepted him as my husband. He never talked to me, but for me, he was my husband. She accepted. He never talked to me. A tall and beautiful lady. And she said, I don't remember how much money I have handed over to this ashram. So, church, propertyless church, and turning to the Bible for the direction of salvation. This was said by Lollard movement. Lollard movement. Then there was a person in Netherlands, Gerhard. Gerhard Groth. Gerhard Groth. Non-ritualistic and humanistic Christianity. Non-ritualistic and humanistic Christianity. This was proposed by him. Non-ritualistic and humanistic Christianity. Non-ritualistic and humanistic Christianity. And John Huss. Simple principles talking about salvation. No dramabaji. John Huss. But he and his followers were burnt alive. Decline of Catholic Church because of anti-church movement which was already active in Europe. Decline of Catholic Church because of anti-church movement which was already active in Europe. Albigans and Waldenses, Lollard movement, Gerhard Goethe and John Huss. They all stood up against the abuses, superstition. You go to Kamakhya. Go to Kamakhya. It's such a big holy place. Kamakhya. Grand place. And you see the priest residing in the vicinity of the temple. Priest. See their life. Woman, wine and meat is an essential part of their life. Priest. Woman. The bigger the formula, the great chances of misuse. This happened with Tantricism. This happened with Tantricism in India. It became the cause of enjoyment. It happened. Some people are following in Pune ashram today. The boss is gone. The boss is gone. Decline of Catholic Church because of anti-church movement going on in Europe. Decline of papacy. Decline of papacy. Pope Alexander VI. Leo X. Paul II. Julius II. Infamous for their worldliness and notoriety. Infamous for their worldliness and notoriety. Now if Baba Ram Rahim, if Baba Ram Rahim got involved in sex, there was nothing bad. It's a very big thing. Very big. It's such a big thing in this world that rarity of rare, anyone can overcome it. But the blunder of Baba Ram Rahim was that he was wearing the attire of a sannyasi. He was doing sex, that was not his crime. He had his girlfriend, he has Honeypreet, he has this girl, that girl, that was not a crime. Some people are jumping. Amir Khan is going to have a third wife. He should. When a woman is ready, what is wrong in it? अरे नहीं भैया, वो फातिमा सना से 16 साल की लड़की है, तो तेरे पेट में क्यों दर्द हो रहा है? Why there is a pain in your stomach? There is no pain in the stomach of the girl. There is no pain in the stomach of the family of the girl. But Amir Khan has to wait for 2 years. She is a minor, 16. Any day if she goes to the court, any day, non-bailable warrant, NBW for 2 years. Trolling is going on YouTube, on Facebook. Third wave is coming. Third wave is coming. Third wave is coming. Amir Khan has deceived 2 women. He has not deceived anyone. He is a very big example. If you have power, the world will run behind you. It's a very good example. If you are running behind the world, you are running behind a woman, you are running behind a man, you are running behind money, run only behind power. Only. The world will run behind you. So Baba Ram Rahim was involved in enjoyment and luxury. That was not bad. The bad was the attire of a sannyasi. Because when you take up the attire of a sannyasi, when you accept you are a sannyasi, the person comes closer to you with the notion that you are above all these things. You will help me to come out from all these things. That is crime. And these popes, you are a pope. Hundreds of incidents have taken place. The abuse of nuns, sisters, till today. Thousands of cases, thousands. The cases of sodomy, the cases of rape. So church was acting state within state. That was the biggest problem. Decline in the church because of anti-church movement. Decline in papacy because of this worldliness and notoriety of these popes. Fourth, struggle between church and state. Struggle between church and state. Philip II, the ruler of France, has imposed taxes. His officials have imposed taxes. On church property. And then Boniface VIII, Pope Boniface VIII, bull of excommunication. Bull of excommunication. जात निकाला, bull of excommunication. These popes used to take very serious actions. John Wycliffe, he was kicked out as a professor. His dead body was taken out after his death and it was exhumed, burnt. Pope Boniface VIII comes out, bull of excommunication. But then his order was defied. This bull of excommunication was defied. And finally the struggle starts. He was beaten. Write it, go and read. He was badly beaten after he was caught. Badly beaten, badly. He was beaten and finally he died. Beginning of humanist movement. Fifth reason. Beginning of humanist movement, humanist. Beginning of humanist movement. The great heroes, Reuchlin and Erasmus. Reuchlin and Erasmus, the two heroes of humanist movement. Reuchlin and Erasmus. He comes out with his famous praise of folly. Reuchlin and Erasmus, they started attacking the inconsistencies, the corruption, and they said religion is not the center of life. Theology is not the center of life. Human being is the center of life. Human being is the center of life. Before being a human being, you cannot be a god. If you have seen the Naujawan Kranti day before yesterday, all those people who try to become God without becoming a human being, they all are suffering. You see majority Muslims? You see majority Muslims? Life starts from senses. But life does not mean senses. Life should end at conscious. This is the meaning of humanism. You should accept this. The right time for enjoyment, physical enjoyment, sex enjoyment, 15 to 25. Appropriate time, appropriate. I have a friend in London, so his son is in class 11th. Sumega's cousin. His son is in class 11. he was not interested in girls. That became a tension for his parents. They took him to a psychologist. No, he was neither interested in boys also. He was very much interested in studies. He was taken to a psychologist. Humanism. The entire philosophy of Osho is this: from humanism to spiritualism. This is the core of entire Osho's philosophy. That is why Osho was very much liked in Europe. That is why Osho is very much liked in Europe. I have a Muslim friend. So whenever he will meet me, he will give 2000 abuses to Osho. He knows I have a big respect for Osho. So he will give 2000 abuses to Osho. And I laugh on him. I said, I feel pity on you. Your wife does not respect you. Your wife does not loves you. And I know the reason why. And he says, avadh, ojha, badtameezi mat karna, don't misbehave. Parvati ji will fight with Lord Shiva, but she will never misbehave with Shiva. Never. Lakshmi ji will fight with Vishnu, but she will never misbehave. Today you see, society is saying that women are becoming uncontrolled. Women are moving on the wrong path. No, not at all. Men have become weak. Shiva is a god. Parvati is also a god. I see Hindus hiding their wives. I see Muslims hiding their wives. Only those people can give complete independence to their woman. Complete. Those who have faith on themselves. Parsis, you see, they are never worried about their women. Jews are never worried. Never. They know if she will go also, then also she will come back. क्या नाम था उसका, इमरान खान की वाइफ का? जेमिमा खान. She was a Jew. She returned back. Imran Khan is a miser. नमक चाट के पानी पीने वाला आदमी. And she was the daughter of a billionaire from England. When you meet someone, you behave in a very proper way. Ji, janab, excuse me, takalluf. But when you come closer to a person, so she was very much impressed by Imran Khan. Imran Khan wanted money for his political party. Jemima. He married Jemima. She has written a book on Imran Khan. I will not narrate all the story. You please read about him. She writes. He is a Khan from outside. Inside he is a Khokhla. He is nothing from inside. She has written, he is so much miser. He takes a spoon of salt, he takes it and then takes a glass of water. She said, who will live with this miser idiot? Arre Baap, she has written so many things about Imran Khan. Humanism. Don't leave it. Understand. ये ladder. Here is humanism. Here is spiritualism. Those who try to jump here, they will suffer. Their community will suffer. Their religion will suffer. They will suffer. Liquor is here. Understand? Dhyan is here. Liquor is a small version of dhyan. Sex is here. Samadhi is here. Sex is a small version of samadhi. Minute version. This was humanist movement. But human beings have a habit of going to the other extreme. So Europe left one extreme, that is the extreme of religion. It went on other extreme, humanism. Today Europe is on the other extreme. That is why when Rajneesh goes to Europe and he gives this concept, he was highly welcomed, because this was missing. This was missing. A girl or a boy started sex at the age of 15. 25 they were fed up. In India, at 30 they are dreaming, many of them. They are dreaming and then they are crying. सर हिंदू नहीं समझ में आ रहा है सर. कैसे आएगा बेटा? सर हिंदू नहीं पढ़ पा रहे हैं. आई एम नॉट एबल टू रीड हिंदू. नहीं पढ़ पाओगे बेटा, वो तुम्हारे सॉफ्टवेयर में कोई और ही पिक्चर बनी हुई है. Beginning of humanist movement. Fifth reason. Sixth, new learning. Spread of new learning. Spread of new learning. Which emphasized on secular attitude. Scientific inquiry, humanism, secular attitude. Rise of middle class. Rise of capitalist class and middle class, you write. Rise of capitalist class and middle class. Nothing to explain. You know Buddhism 6th century BC. And fifth, national monarchies and nation states. National monarchies and nation states. Reasons for the reform movement. First reason, state within state. Second, decline of Catholic Church. Third, decline of papacy. Beginning of humanist movement. New learning. Capitalist and middle class. Nation state. Concept of nation state. They all prepared the ground for the beginning of Reformation in Europe. Beginning of Reformation in Europe. Think, connect it, sit down for 10-15 minutes. They don't want to spend their mind, they want to keep it for heaven. Any doubt, any question, query? Richa? Tetzel, John Tetzel, Pope Leo X, Julius II, Alexander VI. सारा जमाना हसीनों का दीवाना, दीवाना कर दिल को, बुरा है दिल लगाना, सारा जमाना. Papacy. Decline of papacy. 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 क्या? हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल, सभी तो अच्छा है. वेरी गुड. मेरे दिल को क्या हो गया, अभी तो यही था, अभी खो गया, हो गया तुम यार सजना, लाख कर ले तू इनकार सजना, दिलदार सजना, देखा न तूने मुड़ के भी पीछे, कुछ देर तो माना. First weddings. Clear? Third heading, features. Anyone I will discuss. Anyone. Your choice. Rudresh Singh Baghel. Richa. Richa. जब दिल ने तुझे ढूंढ न चाहा. Jungly? Alright. It's of 2 lines. Junglism. Junglism is of 2 lines too. Sanju, it's not a matter of tough. I tell you. Sanju, it's not a matter of tough. If you understand Lutheranism, they are the offshoot of that. They all are Protestant movement, all. But father of Protestant movement, Lutheranism. So if you understand Lutheranism, and finally you make a chart. What's this? July. हाँ तो you Radhika, I'll give you the notes, do it by yourself. बेटा अब सब ना पढ़ाया जाएगा. It's not possible. इतना बड़ा टेंडर ले लिया मैंने. I have taken such a big tender. But चलो, it was beneficial to you also, it was beneficial to me also. Six, 29, 30. Diet of Worms, Diet of Sapir, Diet of Augsburg. Rudresh, have you heard all these diets? Diet of Sapir, Diet of Worms, Diet of Augsburg. Rudresh? Rudresh? अरे वाम तो सुना ही होगा. Right, the first heading, Lutheranism. Radhika, don't worry, I'll give you the notes. I will give you the notes, Radhika, don't worry. Martin Luther. Birth of Lutheranism. Philosophy. Evaluation is important, but you do it by yourself. Martin Luther. अरे देखो जरा कौन सा क्वेश्चन पूछे. अच्छा वो 2000 में कैल्विनिज्म पे पूछा है ना. देखना क्या है, ऑक्स भी सुना है. For all the forms assumed by the Protestant Reformation, Calvinism has been the most far-reaching in its scope and the most profound in its influence. Comment. Martin Luther. Born in 1485. Born in 1485 in Hasselburn. साला स्पेलिंग याद रखना इतनी बड़ी चुनौती है. Born in 1485 in Hasselburn. Turning point in his life, the Thunderbolt episode. It has happened with many people, which became a turning point in their life. The interview with death, Thunderbolt episode. Read the story, it's given beautifully in Wikipedia. Thunderbolt episode. So he faced the death, and many people who faced death facing death is a very dangerous experience, and enjoyable I cannot say, but it's a very different type of experience. I have faced thrice in my life. One was when Shukla ji became the savior, 5th September 2015, when I was suffering from dengue and my platelet came down to 5,000, and a mother and son in the neighboring room died at the platelet of 20,000. And I will never be able to forget the night of 5th September. Actually, earlier when I have faced, I was alone. But this time I had a family. And then I understood that yes, exactly, family weakens you. And then I immediately changed the scope of my life, approach also. I said first target is to take them in a safe zone. Then do whatever you want to do. Family is a big entrapment. 5th September. I did not sleep for entire night because I was simply thinking कि बस at any point of time I will be leaving. But one thing was very clear in the software of my mind कि डेंगू से तो मर रहा ही नहीं है, मरना तो गोली से. वो इतनी जबरदस्त चीज है, that thought is so much deep in my mind. So much deep. But that thought is so much deep in, and it has become a very, it has become a boon for me. I don't know why that sannyasi said to me, true, I don't know why that sannyasi said to me, but he has given me a gift कि बेटा 100 गोली लगेगी, 100, 100, तो जब मुझे छोटी मोटी बीमारियां हो जाती है ना, तो मुझे लगता है ना ना ना, अरे ये तो है ही नहीं, ये तो मेरी कुंडली में ही नहीं है. But it happened with many people. It happened with Osho. It happened with Buddha. But the way it happened to Osho and Buddha, that way it did not happen to me. Definitely I'll tell. Definitely I'll tell. You come as an officer to my district, Gonda district. You will get the honor to know about me on evidential grounds. Saying the thing and saying the things make the things very cheap. When you see evidential, when you open a file of someone and then you see, Yara Bhagwan, this also. That is a different thing. Thunderbolt episode. And when he escaped from their death, then he took the oath on the name of Saint Annie, that I will spend the life of a monk. When he takes the decision that I will spend the life of a monk, because this life is a gift to me by Almighty, so now I will spend as a monk. He completed his studies from Erfurt University. Erfurt University, Erfurt. And then he becomes an Augustinian monk. Richard, what is this Augustinian monk? He completed his studies from Erfurt University, and then he became an Augustinian monk. 1505. After this, he becomes the professor of theology. Theology in Wittenberg University. He becomes a professor of theology in Wittenberg University, founded by the Duke of Saxony. What was the name? Richard, what was the name of the Duke? What is this Augustinian monk? Anshul Goyal? Google mat kholna. Don't open the Google. Founded by the Duke of Saxony. And this Duke has an affection for Luther. Affection for Luther because he had a erudite style. Very important. Erudite style of teaching theology. Erudite style of teaching theology. And this has attracted This erudite means scientific. This erudite style of theology, teaching theology, has attracted the students from different parts of Germany. It has attracted students from different parts of Germany. Luther was fond of reading Saint Paul and Saint Augustine, and he himself was in search of salvation. मुक्ति, निर्वाण, मोक्ष, ये जो सीढ़ी है ना सर, ये जो सेक्स है और यहां समाधि है, ये सेंसेस और कॉन्शियस, सेंसेस conscious, senses लिकर ध्यान, at the level of senses, see mukti, moksha, nirvana, you must be worried, you must be sometimes thinking कि यार ये मुक्ति है क्या, मोक्ष है क्या. When all those people who are living at the level of senses, they always require others for their enjoyment. Here, this other disappears. This is mukti. अब सेक्स का एंजॉय करना है तो अगला पार्टनर चाहिए. This is mukti. Every religion talks about it. And when a person becomes old, hell क्या है? 20 to 50, you enjoyed with the other partner. Then your senses became weak. अब तो other partner तो है, लेकिन अब तुम enjoy नहीं कर सकते. Then you will live in hell. तमन्ना है, ताकत नहीं है. All those people who are living on senses, they enjoy the second party. That second party is a bondage. देखो शादी करते हैं लोग, किसी का भला करने के लिए थोड़ी करते हैं. 98% people marry in this country for what? Enjoyment. Then they cry. Then those 98% cry. My wife is not treating well. My wife is not talking well to me. My wife abuses me. My wife is beating me. My wife is roaming with someone else. अबे तो कौन कहा है मजा लेने के लिए? Who has said? He denied the pretension. That church is the. He denied the pretension that church Church, mediation is required. Mediation is required for attaining salvation. He says कि good work and repentance are not the only requirement of salvation. Good work and repentance are not the only requirement for salvation. He says God's mercy. This is what Kabir says. God's mercy is the most important necessity for salvation. मनुज कछु न कर सके, सूरदास प्रभु इच्छा बलवान, भीलन ले गए गोपियां वही अर्जुन वही बान. कबीर सेज साहब से सब होता है, बंदे से कुछ नहीं, राई को पर्वत करे पर्वत को राई. दिस इज व्हाट मार्टिन लूथर सेज. गॉड्स मर्सी इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर सल्वेशन. चर्च जाने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Church, church will give you the atmosphere. Church will give you the temperament. Church will give you the direction. Salvation and good work and repentance is not the only requirement. What is the major requirement? God's mercy. Martin Luther, clear? Now you know something about Martin Luther? Richa? Birth of Lutheranism. First reason, German atmosphere. Catholic Church Catholic Church was not much strong in Germany as it was strong in France and Spain. German atmosphere. Catholic Church was not so much strong in Germany as it was strong in France and Spain. Second, church. Clergy had a share in the present exploitation of German states. Clergy has a share in the present exploitation. 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 Clergy has a share in the present exploitation German princes, they had an eye on property and land of the church. Plus, they wanted to end the financial abuses of the church, which was a very important medium for drain of wealth for German states, which was a very important reason for the drain of wealth of German states. Leo X and John Tetzel episode. Leo X and John Tetzel episode. Leo X and John Tetzel episode. Oh. Arrival of Pope Leo X emissaries to sell the letters of indulgence. Demanding money for the construction of St. Peter's Basilica Church in Rome. Demanding money for the construction of St. Peter's Basilica Church in Rome. And John Tetzel was the representative of the Pope in Wittenberg. John Tetzel was the representative of the Pope in Wittenberg. End of the story. कल खत्म करेंगे इसे और कल शुरू करेंगे नेशन स्टेट, कैल्विनिज्म, जिंगलिज्म. नोट्स दे देंगे, बढ़िया नोट्स, बढ़िया. Okay. Fine. MP Singh. वो फिर नहीं आते. सौरभ से मिलने कल आ जाओ। कल आ जाओ सौरभ को लेकर। हाँ, आई विल टेल यू द टाइम, उसी वक्त आ जाओ। कल आ जाओ सुबह 7 बजे, मेट्रो स्टेशन 51 18। हम 7 बजे साइकिल लेके पहुंचते हैं 18 पे। We reach at 18 at 7 a.m. in the morning with our bicycles. Sector 18, I will meet you in the morning 7 a.m. at Sector 18 with my bicycle. सात बजे आ जाओ, अट्टा मार्केट।